soldiers, airmen, Marines, and sailors recently. So after the warm-up, there's going to be a line of people just kind of tightly starting here at the beginning of lane 1, and you have 2 obstacles in lane 1. The hurdles, remember, modifications and amplifications are up to you. Work within your limits. Ideally, we want some linear action and some plyo action to pick up heart rate and then immediately prepare the body for each station that follows. What I like to do, and if you want to step over it, that's fine. Just use your agility and coordination as well as you can. So I like to do the old bunny hop drill all the way down the line. When the person that's in the line gets to about midway, that's when the next person automatically assumes that role to go next. All I do, once this gets started, I walk around and go, that's my role, okay? It's your role to be the battle buddy for someone else. So midway, that initiates the next person. Again, we had to improvise based off of space. So, normally we would have had a lot longer space here, but folks, we can make it work. The second part to lane 1 is to grab any one of these level 1 braided tubes. I expect the majority of you to be out in the hallway for this part of the lane, because you don't want to be punching anybody, because people are going to be running in the margin here and in here. So that means that space is off limits for this. That means you're out there in the hallway shopping for a BOSU while you do this. So you put it underneath 1 foot, I don't care if it's left or right, and you're going to be doing jumping jacks with the tubing. I call them tubing jacks. 5, 0, 5, 0, 50. How many are we going to do? How many are we going to do?
50.
Now, when you come back in, you drop it in the pile. Listen up. Try and make the pile as close to the door as possible, because we got action going like this in the margins. Now, normally, this course is set up like zigzags. But since we needed the space outside, we're doing a reset here. In other words, ideally, you want this lane going like this, so they are automatically at the next spot over there. Improvise. We needed more space. There's a lot less space by that speaker than there is in the hallways. The hallways are vast. So here's the reset. You come in, you drop the tube, and you're going to sprint down to here and reset for lane 2. Lane 2 requires the glide discs. I will admit that when I do this outdoors, I went to a Kroger or any kind of grocery store, and I asked the produce manager, when you get those big, huge pickle buckets, what do you do with the lids? He goes, we recycle them, we throw them away. And I said, give me the lids. Because when you're outdoors in a parking lot, they're perfect. They're big enough to do the job, they slide well, and the lips of the lid catch well upside down to make certain that your foot stays on it. But ideally, these are the best things in the world. These are the best frisbees you could ever use for this. So remember, each lane actually has something to do with the other. In the tubing jacks, what are the primary muscles for muscular endurance being used? Shoulders. And you need to prepare yourself slightly with that aerobic conditioning activity and this movement here for this movement now, because this requires a lot of stabilization. You're going to do a seal walk all the way down. Now, if you feel the need for speed, notice this lane is wide. I can see 3 people wide going down this lane. Don't feel you have to kind of wait your turn to get your breath. Hit. You don't need that break. Just hit it the best you can. Hit it the best you can. When setting this up as instructors, you need the equipment to go back down where it came from. So, you come over to this lane, which is a little more narrow, too wide at the most here for the bear call. Return the discs, either here, if there's nothing here, or just here for the next person, because there'll be a little bit of a gaggle here, waiting to go for the next lane. That's lane 1, 2, and 3. By now, you should be ready for some lateral action, and what I call the high-low drill. So, you're going to line up here. We have dots on the ground. These dots, I either buy dots from Squad products, they're called agility dots, or I wanted something to show up on this carpet, so I went to that same grocery store, and there were those things you use to open up the lids, like the mason jars. They work perfectly to lay down on any surface that will kind of stick and be safe. So I use these, or if you got an old nasty yoga mat, cut it up into squares. Works perfectly. So, now, hands on your hips, lateral. Come as close to the dots as possible. When you get here, here's the high-low. Be safe as you want to make it. Ideally, if you need to step up, that's fine. But if you can, hop, 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 down. When you get here, you gotta do the Spider-Man crawl. You're getting low, and you're doing this. All the way down. Notice, I did not touch the neck. Do not bring your neck down on your butt. Do you get me? That was a hula moment. Do you get me? Do you get me? Good. When you come out of that, you have 2 3-foot hurdles. Listen, folks, if you need to kind of do this, because you feel like you're vertically challenged, that's up to you. Ideally, you want the obstacle course style of hopping over these hurdles. Like that. Now, at the completion of this lane, you need to do a crab crawl. Watch me first. When you do the crab crawl, you are not going backwards, nor are you turning your fingers behind you. Your fingers go forward. You pull with your hamstrings, and you balance and push off with your triceps. Right to here. Come out, come to the corner, and this right here is called the push-up pull. You're going to grab 1, 2, hook it with your left hand, bring it behind, underneath your arms, underneath your shoulder blades, underneath your arms. Anywhere here, even on the stage, anywhere here, you're going to get in a push-up position and do 30 tubing push-ups. If you can't finish with the tube, drop it and continue from your feet on your knees. But don't drop until you reach muscle failure first with the tubing. Do you get me? Do you get me? Awesome. Once you finish your 30 tubing push-ups, sprint, reset. The average has been 8 rounds of this course with continuous action. Last weekend at SCW Fitness, Atlanta, we broke the record and we had 8 people break the 10 barrier and 4 people complete 12 rounds. 4 people complete 12 rounds. I'd like to say we're going to find the top female and the top male and award them some prizes at the end for the most that they can achieve. Those prizes, I think, are some pretty good prizes. In this camouflage bag, whoever wins with the most rounds and the most spirit. Workout cards, my DVDs, there's one for adults, one that's also for adults but it's catered toward women, and a kids video. All in here. And 3 sets of durable outdoor tubing, all in a camouflage bag. Top female, top male, for the most rounds completed, and the most motivation. If you're simply an athlete, but not motivating others, you don't win. That's simple. But everyone here should have a good time. All right, question, because now's the time to ask. I know, what have we gotten into? Questions! Everyone's afraid to ask questions, don't be afraid. What? Yeah, see? Well, that's why some of the lanes are wider. Obviously, lane 1, you got to do the hurdles. That's why you wait till the person gets to the midpoint. You can pass people here, obviously. I can see 3 people wide here. I can see 2 people wide here, safely. I can see 2 people wide here, safely. I can see 1, but then 3, wide while I'm crawling. I can see 75 people on the tubing push-ups, 75 people on the tubing jacks. So yeah, you have the opportunity just to kind of do this thing. What I do is I say, passing. I yell passing when I'm coming around that person. It's just a way of being safe and effective. Passing. And you know you're coming around. Great question. Who's next? Questions are now. Yes. What's the modification? And you're grabbing one of these tubes, you're going out the hallway anywhere, and doing 50 jumping jacks with the tube. Good question? Anyone else? Anyone else? Going once?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Can I do partially?
Here's a question for modifications. Is there anything that we can do partially? I would say yes, of course. If you feel that your joints are not really like it, come out of it and finish the lane safely down the side or something. But if you're stuck under here, you gotta finish. Don't put out the side because you might get clipped and you might catch the neck. And this is, please folks, it's never fallen out on anyone yet. Don't be the first, knock on wood, right? Great question. Anyone else? All right. Here's another bit of good news. Because of the intensity of this program, we only do 44 minutes. The warm-up is 5.5 to 6 minutes. Total 50 minutes, and then questions answered at the end that are in accordance with your handouts, and then awards. So 44 minutes on the course. Please take all your